Hey everyone, Steven here, guest posting for Squarebox Games, and we have another unboxing here for Star Wars Legion. I wasn't planning on getting this originally. It's a great set, but what we have here is the 501st Legion Battleforce starter set. So let's open it up and see what's inside. One thing I'm a little nervous about, which I might not be able to see here in this video, is making sure that it has all the parts, because I know I've seen online where people have been missing things from these, and the Echo base set that I previously got was missing a couple Tauntaun legs, but thankfully there's some great companies out there that will work with you and get you the stuff you need. So here's what we got. We got some usual tokens, all of those. And then you have the usual scan. The instructions are online. Here's some credits. Nice image there of Anakin and the clones. And a full-size one on the back here. That's kind of nice. Some good artwork there. That's pretty. Some explosions. Defeating battle droids. I still have to assemble some battle droids, and I've heard that's going to be a pain, so I'll have to see with that. But anyway, so your instructions are aligned for this one. And then we have some cards here. We'll look at those in a bit. A bunch of bases, because you're dealing with all troopers in this one, so they're all the same size bases. And a bunch of sprues too, so I'll have to go through these and see if I ended up getting everything. I'm going to pull these out. I'm just going to move this box and we'll start going through some of these. Oh yeah, I did forget, you do have an ATRT in there, so there's this bigger base for that. And the sprues. Alright, nothing else in the box. We'll set the box aside. Oh, I forgot. I'll show you that before I got ahead of myself there. So what you get with this, you get an Anakin Skywalker, a couple Phase 2 clones, 3 sets of ARC Troopers, which are pretty nice, and an ATRT. So that's what you get in the box. So we'll see what we have here. This at least is promising, because I've heard some people have been missing some of the stands for the ARC Troopers. We'll see if they gave me enough. But that's good. Alright, so this looks... Some more clones in here. Oh, this is the ATRT. Yeah, in this bag, this appears to be the ATRT driver. And these are the ATRT parts in there. So that's what that one is. And this is your ARC Troopers, which again, hopefully they gave me enough flight stands. Not sure, but flight stands, we can easily make a flight stand with some dowel rods or toothpicks or something. So yeah, you gotta pull these out. I'll leave those in there for now, but yeah, you can see you got a sprue there. There's some clone heads, some jetpacks. That's one nice thing with the ARC Troopers, they have jetpacks. So they're a lot like Mandalorians, but we'll get into that in a minute. Again, more sprues, more of the same, because you're going to be building a lot of kind of the same clones, a few different poses. But these are all your ARC Troopers, I believe. I'm excited to play with these ARC Troopers, because they're similar to the Republic Commandos in a sense, because you have an ARC strike team, so they have some snipers. So I'm excited to play those. Tyler, I know, has the Commandos, and I played against them, so I'm interested to try them, kind of their clone counterpart, and try that for myself. So here's the other bag here. I'll have to look into this. It looks like, as you can see, there's 2 lightsabers here, so there are probably a couple possibilities for assembling Anakin. So that's one of his sprues. Looks like some heavy gunners. This is probably your phase 2 clones is what these are here. Yeah, this should be the couple sets of phase 2 clones that you get in this one. So that's all the sprues. So that's what you get in that. The ATRT and all these sprues of clone troopers. Now let's look through some of these bases so we can get into what this set is about. Anakin has some nice command cards for him that allow you to upgrade him, which we'll get into here in a second. Let's see, so you get your command cards, because you'll have your generic ones. Let me find, find the units here. We'll go through the units, then we'll go through some command cards, so you can see how it applies to Anakin. So here he is, Anakin Skywalker. He's got jump 1, so you can move over terrain with height 1 or lower, just as normal move mastery. He has dim sue mastery. I believe that's how you say it. I could be wrong. So while defending, if you spend a dodge token, you gain surge to dodge, or surge to block. If at least one normal hit or critical result was canceled, the attacker suffers 1 wound. What's nice with this versus Anakin, versus Obi-Wan, is with his mastery, spending that dodge to cancel hit counts as this. Whereas Obi-Wan's is just, if you're able to roll a surge and cancel a surge, then it causes a wound. But with this, the dodge token, using the dodge token to cancel also would create a wound for your opponent. So that's kind of nice on that. He does have a flawed card, which we'll see here in a minute. And it's not that big of a flawed card, but it could cause some issues. I'm not too concerned with that, mainly because of the other things he can do. He's immune to Pierce. Because he's tempted by the dark side of the Force, he can equip both light side and dark side upgrades. So any Force upgrades can be equipped to him. He has his lightsaber is 5 red attack dice, which is nice. Also rolls red defense because he's a Jedi. And he's got Impact 3 and Pierce 3, which is nice. And then, again, his command cards can upgrade him further, so Anakin's a good guy there. Well, he was good at this point in time, and then he turned bad, but he's a good one to use. The Phase 2, main difference between the Phase 2 and Phase 1 clones, they both have fire support, both have token sharing, but the Phase 2s have Reliable 1, which gives them a surge token, which is handy because they do not have surge to hit or surge to block. You'll also notice, going back to Anakin, he doesn't have a surge on either a hit or a block, but in his command cards you can upgrade him to be able to get some of that. So you get a couple sets of Phase 2 clones, with range 1 to 3, a black. Your Republic ATRT, which is similar. I was comparing this earlier with the Rebel ATRT. The Republic one has Scout on it, which is nice, so you can move them a little bit further to start with. They also have a rocket launcher, which gives 1 more black attack die versus the pilot's normal weapon. Other than that, the normal upgrades for ATRT still apply with either the flamethrower or I forget the other two. Flamethrower, another weapon, the laser turret, or the cannon. And then you have these ARC troopers. Yep, with the strike team, which is essentially, the strike team's 2 people, whereas the normal one can be up to 5 if you equip heavy, but the strike team is 2. The main reason for that is you can see the difference in point cost there, 72 versus 21. Now this will go up and be closer to 72 once you upgrade and add either, what you have in here is either, you have a couple options, but you have 5s and echoes in this, which are nice, and you'll see here in a minute what they can do. Echo, I believe, is the really good sniper. So with the arc, both the strike team and the regular one are fairly similar, except for, again, 2 versus 5 people. Both have impervious, so you can roll additional defense die if you're dealing with people that are attacking you with Pierce. The strike team, well, both of them actually, they have Scout too, so you can perform a speed 2 move right at the start when they deploy, which is nice. You can also upgrade these guys. I mean, think about giving them another Scout, then they could have a range 3 free move at the start, which is nice. And then also they have a jetpack you can equip on these guys, which gives them, I think, jump 2. So I am really excited to try to play around with these guys and see what they can do. Sharpshooter 1, which I believe decreases defense by 1. Yeah, you can see on the red card here. While performing ranged attack, reduce the defender's cover by 1. And then tactical 1. So after you perform standard move, you get an aim token, which is nice. So yeah, that's the big thing in here. So you have 3 cards for ARC Trooper strike teams and 3 cards for regular sets of ARC Troopers. And that's one of the main reasons people get this set, is to get that many ARC Troopers. So those are those guys. Now let's dig in. We'll look at some upgrades in a minute. Let's look at command cards. So you get your standard ambush, 1 pip, 1 unit, a push for 2, assault for 3, your standing orders for 4. Then we get into Anakin's command cards, and that's his flawed card. Anakin's command cards all have permanent on them, meaning once you play it, he gains some abilities that then he'll keep the rest of the game, which is kind of nice. So that is interesting how that plays into maybe the order that you play your command cards in. So the 1 pip, this is where the fun begins. He gains outmaneuver, which means he can cancel critical hits with dodge tokens as well as the regular hits, and relentless, which means he can move and then a free attack action, which is nice. Permanent, he'll keep those after this. And then most of his command cards also have something to the effect of this similar, so if he doesn't do something, he'll gain a suppression token. Isn't the end of the world, but then it plays into basically your opponent can play your flawed card whenever they want. So if he was not the first friendly unit to activate during the current round, he gets a suppression token at the end. So this is 1 pip. You underestimate my power. Anakin gains surge to crit. Again, these are all permanent. And master the force 1, so he readies a force power at the end of his turn if it's been exhausted. He also gains defend 1, which means he gets a dodge. He gets a free dodge every round for that defend 1, which is nice. And at the end of his activation, he did not perform an attack, he gains a suppression token. And then his 3 pip, Hero of the Clone Wars. Anakin Skywalker gains Exemplar, which means token sharing with other units. Other units can use his surge and aim and dodge tokens. And Reliable 2, which I believe gives him 2 surge tokens for the Reliable. So Anakin's flawed card, which goes to your opponent's hand. Not a story the Jedi would tell. You may play this card at the start of the command phase if there is an enemy Anakin Skywalker with at least 1 suppression token. That enemy Anakin Skywalker cannot be issued orders. So if you were unable to complete some of those things on the previous command cards, you'd have a suppression token, or for other reasons, you know, the likelihood of you having a suppression token is pretty high. Which then allows your opponent to play this, and it just means that turn you cannot issue an order to Anakin. And this command card is part of their command card deck, so they'll have that until they play it. Again, it only affects 1 turn though, so not the biggest problem, but could cause some issues depending upon what happens. That's his flawed card. Then you have these 3 special ones for the 501st Legion. For this first one here, Lead from the Front, it's a 1 pip. But when building a command hand, treat this as though it has 2 pips. So then you could you could have 3 1-pip cards is what that would mean, as opposed to just the normal 2 in building your command that way. And it's for 1 commander unit. After friendly commander is issued an order by this card, choose 3 other friendly units within range 1 of the commander unit. Each chosen unit gains an aim or a dodge token. And again, it's critical for building up tokens on your clones, since they don't have surges. You have to find other ways to be creative with getting them hits or blocks. So that helps do this. And again, with the sharing of tokens, also helpful. Your 2-pip tactical planning is to heavy, I believe that's heavy, or specialist units. Or that might be ground. I forget. Forgive me, it's been a while. After a friendly, one of those units performs an attack against a unit that has a face-up order token, shuffle that token back into its order pool. So that's nice for being able to say, nope, you don't get to select them. You're going to have to draw them. And, you know, if they don't have a face-up token, they can't do other things too. So that's useful for negating some of that. I like the option to have that to make them have to draw their unit. Specialist core units for 3 of them. Leaders of the 501st. This is another permanent one. Friendly units at range 1 to 2 of friendly Anakin Skywalker and or friendly Clone Captain Rex gain Indomitable, which means they roll red defense die to get rid of suppression. So it just helps your clones being able to actually do things and not be suppressed. So that's good to have there. And that's a permanent thing too. And then you're issuing orders to 3 units. So that's the 3-pip. And then some of these upgrades. Saber throw, being able to use a melee weapon. Range 1 or 2, half the weapon's dice. Force reflexes, you get dodge token. Phase 2 clones. So these are just adding extra units to your clones, just your standard ones. You have a Phase 2 Mortar Trooper, range 2 to 4, crit 1, so surge 2 crit, and suppressive. It is cumbersome though, so you can't move then attack. Now what they have changed in the rules is you can attack then move, which is nice to have as an option. So you get a couple of the Mortar Troopers there. Offensive push. So you get after, you get tactical 1, so after you move, you get a aim token. You get a couple of those. Some smoke grenades, which can obscure and provide some cover for you. EMP droid poppers. While 1 or more of this weapon is in your attack pool gains Ion 1. So some of those. Jetpacks for your ARC troopers again. So then you have jump 2, so you can move over stuff height 2 or lower for your full range of movement, move speed. So that's nice to have. Again, makes them similar to Mandalorians. D15X ARC troopers, 2 red dice, which I like, and range up to range 5. Immune to deflect and lethal, so you can use aim tokens to give them pierce. You get 3 of those. Then these are the unique ones. You get Echoes. That's Echo. I was already to Echo because I'm interested in Echo. I'll go ahead and talk about him first. So, similar to your standard one, 2 attack die, 1 to 5, although he has 2 health. You also gain Reliable 1, which means, again, you get a Surge token. And he also has the lethal 1, but he has critical 1, so Surge to crit on 1. So it's making it more likely that you could get 2 hits with him, and especially range 5 with red die. That is a nice sniper. I'm looking to try him out. The only bad thing is he is not cheap. 40 points there. 5s has 3 black attack die. His range 1 to 3. But he can coordinate with clone troopers, so after he's issued an order, you can issue a friendly clone trooper an order. And both of these you can equip to either ARC troopers or clone troopers. So that's kind of interesting too. So you can vary who you equip those to. So I'm interested in trying some of that out. But those are unique ones, Echo and 5s. Your targeting scope, so you can roll additional, re-roll additional die to try to get some hits when you aim. Tenacity, while performing melee attack, if you're wounded, add another red attack die, like those with Wookiees. At the end of the activation phase, you may remove a suppression token for endurance there. Yeah, that's what I couldn't think of. Rotary Blaster. So these are the same as the Rebel ones. So 5 blacks, range 1 to 3. These are the upgrades for the ATRT, by the way. Not that you couldn't tell that, because it says that right there. The laser cannon, 3 blacks, which I thought it was 2 blacks and a red. I'll have to look that up. I think it's 2 blacks and a red on the Rebel one, but I could be mistaken. Impact 3. It's fixed front. And then Blast on your flamethrower, 2 blacks, which means you add it for each. It's range 1, but you ignore cover for Blast. Spray, then you add this weapon's dice to the attack pool 1 time for each mini, then the defending unit to which line of sight is not blocked. So it's good for when you're in close range. You can see them all. You can throw a lot of black die in there. So that one's nice. HQ uplink. So you can issue orders to yourself farther away. You got 3 of those. And then just a couple of your heavy upgrades for the Phase 2 clones there. A Z6 Phase 2 clone. You had 1 mini, and it's got 6 white dice. So just throwing a lot of dice around. Hopefully you have some surge tokens. You can convert them. But 6 white dice, range 1 to 3. So that is a, I want to say quick overview, but it's taking me a little bit of time because I'd like to go into a little depth and think through some possibilities there. I'm interested in playing with the Republic and trying an army there. Like I said, I got the core set and I got Yoda, so I'm interested in throwing those around. Now I can't play Yoda with the 501st, but there's some interesting options here now, having some ARC troopers and clones, and I have enough to build a full Republic army. So look for that, hopefully on our channel, sometime in the near future when we get a chance. We have a lot of units now, so I'm excited for us to try out some different options and see what we can do strategically and, just for fun. So stay tuned to our channel. And all that plays into his flawed card. Whoop, I reset the camera there. Flawed card. You may play this card at the start of the command phase if there is an enemy Anakin Skywalker with at least 1 suppression token, and that enemy Anakin Skywalker cannot be issued orders. This is just for that turn. So essentially you can't issue him an order for that turn. Sorry there. Let me do that again. Tyler can edit this out.